6 o'clock. Thank you so much for joining my live. It's always great to have everybody here, and I want to share some cool tips on networking, like we do every Wednesday about this time. And really try to dispel some of the myths and offer some tips that you can use as you go around building a strong network. So I think one of the myths that people have about networking is how big your network has to be, that it's so important to know a lot of people. However, and you may even say, well, yeah, Ray, it's not just about who you know, but who knows you. And that's also cool. However, that is not the whole story. Not only do you have to know people, right, but you have to know people who know people, so that's going to be critical, right? So the power of a network comes from the extended network. So the power of the network comes from extending the network through others, right? So when your circle can tap into other people's circles, the power of your network grows exponentially. So as you're deciding who you want to be in your network, you should look for people who also are networkers and have a good network. Another myth, or a part of that myth, is that when you have enough people in your network, you'll be fine. But the reality is, it's not just about who you know, but it's also about how well you know them. So there's a couple of terms I want you to take away. So the number of people that you know is called social capital, right? And that goes back to, there's an old saying, your network equals your net worth. And that's really where that comes from, right? Where the number of people you know is how much money or how valuable your network is. However, there's another part to that equation. It's not just social capital, it's also something called relational capital, which is how well you know these people. Right. So if you know a lot of people, but not very well, and they don't know you very well, your relational capital is going to be slim. And I look at a way to judge that, relational capital. If you had a piece of heavy furniture that you needed to move in your house, who could you call? How many people do you know that you could call if you needed to move a piece of furniture, or if you needed your car was broken down and you needed a ride to the store? How many people do you know who can help out in that area? So that's what relational capital is, and it's important that you differentiate and understand the difference between social capital, which is the number of people that you know, as opposed to relational capital, which is how well you know them. So if you multiply those two numbers together, that's really the size or the value of your network. So, one thing I just want you to take away from this is that it's not about how many people you know. There's a common mistake. It's about how well you know them. So one of the things that I do with my clients is show you how to list out everybody you know, but then assign a value to the relationship. I use a number from 1 to 5. 5 means that they're your best friend. You can talk to them about everything. Almost everything about them. A 1 is, lose my number, dude. And so you assign a number to everybody in your contact list. So now you can kind of understand who you have good relationships with. Right. And then you work toward the course of this, building your network, of improving your relationships with the people that you choose to have in your network. So when you do this, then you can limit the number of people that you have to have in your network to be effective, right? And I recommend you only need between 100 and 150 people to be officially in your network. But when you have that number and you know all of those people very well, it becomes like if you had 100 best friends, right? The value and the power in that is amazing. So basically, like I said, not only just having people, but having great relationships with those people is going to be important. So yeah, any questions? Anybody wanna chime in or join me live? I'm gonna start experimenting with bringing people in and just giving live questions or even some live coaching if you have specific questions. I find that folks who are in the real estate business or insurance business who really make their living through their connections really benefit quite well from this approach of taking your business from being transactional and making it relational. So, because that's, I think, a big mistake that a lot of small business owners have is, they look at every transaction as being transactional and they don't spend any time just building the relationship. When you think about, your good friends, who want to support you, we look at our friendships as just random or just serendipitous. We just kind of met our friends, randomly at the mall or randomly at on a bus or in line. But you can decide on who you want to be a friend, even before you go out and meet them, and you decide what type of qualities they have, where they live, what they do, what they enjoy doing, and then when you kind of create that, what I call a persona or a profile of your friend, then you can proceed to meet those people and fill your network with the type of people that you want to have that will do business with you. Quite often, we complain about our friends don't support us, right? I mean, I think that's the biggest complaint of everybody who's ever launched a business, where you expect everybody at least to buy from you. And that rarely happens, and we become disappointed. So you have to surround yourself with people who not only want to support you, but are able to support you. Right, so you can do that on the front end as opposed to launching and then being disappointed because the people around you don't support you. So, what I coach and what I talk about with my clients is, have intention around the types of people that you have around. There's an old saying, you've probably heard it, that your income is the average of your 5 closest friends. And and I find that to be true, and I think if you look around at your friends, chances are you're somewhere in the middle. And that's most people's stories. Yours might be different, but most people have that story that the people you surround yourself with, the old saying, birds of a feather flock together is true. So you can be intentional about the type of people that you want to surround yourself with, and then intentionally, again, build a relationship with them. Don't just leave it up to chance or randomness. And then when you have these good relationships, now your opportunities and business and sales will come through this circle. These are people who know you, who trust you, and who like you, right? The old know, like, trust formula. It defines a friend, right? So when someone knows you, likes you, and trusts you, they are your friend. So you can flip that and make them a friend first. Work on that relationship, and then you'll watch your sales and your career and your opportunities, whatever you want out of life, will start to come true. So yeah, guys. So if you want more information, you can pick up my book. It's on Amazon, Connect Like a Boss, or you can just visit my website, rayabram.com. Check me out. Feel free to set up some time with me, and we can talk if you have any questions. Questions or concerns, or post a comment, and we'll answer any questions that you have. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining. This has been great. Here every Wednesday at 6:00. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.